Boruto's life has totally been ruined after the omnipotence twist. But what if I told you it was all because of a single mistake that he was shown to make in the beginning of the series? And what's interesting is that you and I also have made the same mistake plenty of times in our life. So what has Boruto done to deserve this? And can we also lose everything by doing the same mistake? Let's find out. We all know Kishimoto has developed the story of Boruto in contrast to the legacy of Naruto. While Naruto was born with nothing, his dedication and dreams eventually made him gain everything. However, Boruto's case was different. He was born with everything that his father had wished for, but he didn't appreciate it enough. The catapult of fate took a really dark turn for Boruto when he lost every privilege that he was born with due to the desire of Kawaki. Boruto did not relate much to Naruto and wanted him to be more responsible towards his family in the beginning of the story. His father not being able to provide time to his family made him develop a resentment towards him. The grudges were not only limited to his parent but also the shinobi system. Boruto obsessed over shortcuts in the beginning of the story. That's why he accepted the scientific ninja tool from Katasuke during the Chunin exam arc. Kawaki on the other hand was different. He appreciated the love that Naruto showed him and decided to cross all limits to protect the Hokage. While Kawaki's character is not flawless, there is apparently a single mistake made by Boruto which took everything away from him. It was the lack of gratitude towards his blessings. It's renowned in many cultures that when a person is not appreciative enough towards his fortunes, he gets everything taken away from him. The same can be applied in Boruto's case. His fateful destiny was nothing but a result of his irrational actions. The concept of karma in the story could also explain why this happened to Boruto. Thanklessness or ingratitude is generally seen as a negative trait. When a person doesn't admire the value of things that he gets for granted, he tends to attract miserable things to pay for the ingratitude. Similarly, Boruto being the most privileged kid of Konoha, yet feeling resented towards his dad and the shinobi system, made him attract everything from the curse of Momoshiki to losing his identity. You guys may ask, then why does he possess the pure eye, which seems to replenish the negativity from his life? Well, I will provide an interesting answer in a moment, but let's first dive into the Nova effect and how Boruto's life perfectly resonates with it. The Nova effect says that life as a whole is a collection of good and bad events. This means a good event can often lead to a bad one, and a bad event can often lead to a good one. Let's understand this with the example of Boruto himself. At the beginning, when he was having harsh feelings towards his father, he wanted to be like an ordinary kid who does not have to compromise with the company of his dad. Naruto being the Hokage really left a dark stain on their relationship. One thing leads to another, and when Boruto eventually loses everything, he realizes that it's the same will of fire which helped Naruto in becoming Hokage that is keeping him upright in these hard times. Not only that, the same applies to Boruto defeating Momoshiki. While a huge danger was dealt with when he destroyed the monster with the Rasengan, it ended up in him becoming a monster himself, followed by numerous events which made his life a lot more difficult. But according to the Nova effect, even though Boruto's life has been messed beyond repair, something positive should rise from this phase of his life as well. What if Boruto will be forced to study the Otsutsukis during the time skip period, which will lead to him transcending to the world of celestial beings? As we know, the plot armor will help Boruto in defeating Kawaki. The problem arises with the fate of Otsutsukis that had been decided by the right karma wielder. Will Boruto follow the same path of killing the Otsutsuki race, or will he fix the celestial system with his own methods? Implying the notion of this ideology into perspective, Boruto's way of dealing with Otsutsukis must be completely different than what Kawaki has planned. In other words, he must find a way out of the Otsutsuki situation without any casualties. But is that actually possible? Well, assuming he has unlocked the most troublesome power of the clan, chances are he would find a golden resolve. Keeping in mind the intensity of the good and bad events keep increasing with the passage of time in a person's life, Boruto might have to make a lot more sacrifices when he decides to fix the Otsutsukis. Well, I think his dark fate won't directly accelerate during the Konoha crush, but it could take a high jump after the Kawaki fight. What if Kawaki ends up dying by the hands of Boruto or someone else? How would he retrieve his parents after that? The fact that his Jojutsu has been powered by a bioweapon makes it impossible for Boruto to transplant it in the traditional way. The hopelessness of realizing there is no way left on earth to bring back his parents could spark the fire in his heart to strike on the realm of Otsutsukis. The act of disregarding his status as the most lucky child of Konoha not only took the privilege away from him, but will also make him the first person to visit the celestial beings. I remember someone pointing out in my comments that Boruto will now be called Otsutsuki Boruto in the show, and that could actually be a thing after he leaves the planet. The return of Naruto and Hinata must also be able to reverse the effects of Aida's omnipotence. It is believed that there were only 2 times in Aida's life when she activated the omnipotence. Firstly, when she desired to be loved by others and ended up manifesting it into reality, and secondly, when she was too desperate to help Kawaki. The desperation that comes with these desires was responsible for manifesting them into reality. We know from chapter 80 that Boruto did not desire his original reality back at that point, as he was too interested in learning how Kawaki had felt all his life. That's why Aida couldn't help him back then. However, when Naoto and Hinata would return and would witness their child getting tortured by the whole world for something he didn't even do, they would desperately long for the justice of Boruto. This would mark the moment of omnipotence returning to the story, either by the means of Aida or somebody else. Not to mention Naoto and Hinata being trapped in another dimension enhances the chances of their immunity from Aida's spell. Now the theory that I'm about to tell you guys will completely blow your mind. The only way for Boruto to bring Naoto and Hinata back would be to get his hands on a real Dharmagun. He would only find one in the Otsutsuki world and will have to use it in his left eye. Remember, I said Boruto unlocking the Jogan has some really huge significance. It could be that he's a reincarnation of Shibai Otsutsuki, and the good deeds that were undertaken by the deity in his mortal form blessed Boruto with the Jogan. The mind-blowing thing is that Shibai Otsutsuki apparently has the Jogan in his right eye and the Dharmagun in the left. Boruto, upon fulfilling his golden resolve, would also have similar dojutsu combination. This enchants the relevance of the samsara cycle in the story. It says that the deeds of a person's previous life directly or indirectly affect the circumstances that he's facing in the present one. The fate of Naoto and Sasuke was linked with the destinies of Ashura and Indra. They successfully brought an end to their decades-old rivalry and the cycle of hatred. The unfulfilled purpose of Shibai must also have some impact on Boruto's life. Keeping in mind the story needs to conclude the tale of Otsutsuki sooner or later, it's safe to say that his purpose would have been to fix his clan. When Boruto would enter the Otsutsuki world for the purpose of finding a Dharmagun, he would eventually make some Otsutsuki friends who would tell him about the flaws and faults of the celestial beings. The desire of becoming more and more powerful could be one of them. As we know, an Otsutsuki's hunt of power leads to the extinction of numerous species across the universe, so maybe the purpose of Boruto would be to stop this cruel evolution system once for all. If the theory of Boruto getting both eyes of Shibai comes true, then it seems like the Jogan won't be the most powerful element of the show. If that was the case, then the story would take a Dragon Ball kind of approach with power levels going beyond the universe and multiverse. Talking about Dragon Ball, what if the Boruto series will take a similar path when it comes to exploring the Otsutsuki dimension? It was revealed in the Tournament of Power saga that there are multiple universes and some of them didn't even compete in the tournament due to their enormous power level. The interesting thing is that the creators of Dragon Ball could anytime create a brand new adventurous arc with Goku and his friends traveling to any of these universes, implying that in Boruto's case, it could be that Kishimoto will also play a multiversal card while introducing the realms of Otsutsukis. In this way, the adventures of Boruto could keep on going forever until he finds a resolve to the Otsutsuki situation. Coming back to the Nova effect, we shouldn't forget that it applies to each and every character of the series. Let's talk about Himawari for a moment and what could be the next major event in her life. The last thing that she witnessed was the disappearance of her parents alongside the news of their death. This must have been the most traumatic event for her, but we shouldn't forget that there is something positive on its way as well. Considering the hints of her mighty power, maybe she will learn to unlock a transformation that will make her one of the strongest characters in the verse. The reason I think it's gonna be a transformation is because the glimpse of power that Daemon sensed from her did not last long. This means she can't control this hidden prowess at will as of now, similar to Boruto's Jogan. Talking about the Jogan, what superpowers will this eye grant Boruto in the time skip? Find out more about them in this video and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stuff. I will see you next time.